If I could sit down with a 20-year-old self for just 15 minutes, I wouldn't talk to him about stocks or real estate or crypto or making money. I'll tell him something far more important. I tell him how to become the kind of man that success naturally follows. Because looking back now, most of the mistakes I made weren't financial mistakes. They were character mistakes and flaws. Mindset mistakes, discipline mistakes, and it cost me years. Today I want to share the 5 lessons I wish someone had taught me when I was young, broke, confused, and trying to figure life out. Because somewhere out there is a man who is one decision away from completely changing his life. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of starting over, tired of watching other people move forward while you stay in the same place. If that's you, then this episode is going to hit home. If I woke up tomorrow and somehow lost everything, my money, my businesses, my connections, and my reputation, but I still had the knowledge and wisdom I have today, I honestly wouldn't panic. Why? Because I've learned that success is not built from money. Success is built from the man you become. A lot of young men think the reason they're struggling is because they don't have enough money. Well, I don't believe that's necessarily true. I think most men are struggling because they're focused on the wrong things in life. They're chasing quick money instead of building character. They're chasing validation instead of building confidence. They're chasing comfort instead of building discipline and resilience. Because of that, they stay stuck. Today I want to share the 5 things I would focus on immediately if I was broke and in my 20s again. This is not theory, not motivational nonsense, not something I read in a book. These are hard lessons that came from pain, failure, and mistakes. And if I had learned them sooner, they would have saved me years of frustration and saved time. I'm going to share a quick and embarrassing story with you from when I was really broke. But before I get vulnerable with you and provide you with a ton of value, please hit like and subscribe to my channel because it helps my channel grow and serve more people on this platform. So thank you for your support. So back in 2012, I was an undergraduate student. I moved out of the house and I was living with 3 other roommates. I was a full-time student working part-time jobs to make ends meet because the school loans that I took out at the time were barely enough to cover my tuition. I remember one night when my girlfriend at the time and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to pick up our takeout order. The bill wasn't high, it was like $30-40 or so, but when I tried swiping my debit card, it kept declining. You see, I couldn't swipe my only credit card because it was already maxed out. And I thought I had enough money on my debit card. Boy, was I wrong. So after multiple failed attempts to swipe and pay for dinner, my girlfriend at the time kindly offered to pay. I reluctantly let her pay for it, telling her that there must be some kind of error of my debit card. But deep inside, I was dying of embarrassment. I will never forget that day because when I went back to my apartment, which I was sharing with 3 other dudes, I swore to myself that I would never be this broke in my life again, and I would do everything I could to have enough money. It has been almost 15 years since, and I've made, lost, spent, and made significant money again. But most importantly, I learned these 5 very valuable things that I wish my parents knew and taught me back then. The first thing I would do is get in shape. Not next month, not when I have money or time, not when life slows down, today. Because a healthy body creates a healthy mind, and a healthy mind creates a better life. Most men completely underestimate how much their physical health affects everything else. Think about it. When you're constantly tired, overweight, unhealthy, and lacking energy, it's difficult to perform at high levels. It's difficult to be confident, it's difficult to stay disciplined, it's difficult to take risks and to believe in yourself. When you start taking care of your body, everything changes. You begin to feel better, think better, you're focused, you carry yourself differently. You develop confidence. Confidence creates action, and action creates competence, and competence ultimately creates opportunities. Most men think confidence comes first, but it doesn't. Confidence is earned. You earn confidence by doing hard things. You earn confidence by keeping promises to yourself. You earn confidence by showing up when you don't feel like it. The gym teaches you discipline, consistently, delayed gratification, and resilience. Every successful area of your life benefits when your body is strong. If I was broke and in my 20s again, I would get physically fit as fast as possible. Not because I wanted to look good, but because I wanted to become the kind of man who could handle life challenges. And to be completely honest with you all, a younger version of myself could have definitely benefited from a good physique when it came to dating life back then. But it's a story for another time. The second thing I would do is to forgive myself and heal myself. This one is huge because nobody wants to talk about it. And it's something most men avoid. Most men are walking through life carrying wounds they never addressed. Wounds like regret, shame, rejection, abandonment, betrayal, anger, childhood pain, relationship pain, past mistakes. Because they never deal with those wounds continue controlling their lives. And the sad part is many men don't even realize it. Instead of healing, they distract themselves. They drink, scroll endlessly, watch pornography, work nonstop, stay busy, numb themselves. I've done all of the above. Men do anything to avoid facing what's really going on the inside. Here's what I've learned. Your unhealed wounds don't disappear. They simply show up in different areas of your life. They show up in your relationship, in your confidence, in your business, in your parenting, in your decision making. They spill out everywhere. Unhealed men sabotage themselves. They talk themselves out of opportunities. They don't believe they deserve success. They settle for less than they're capable of. And then they wonder why they kept repeating the same cycles as their parents. You see, healing changes everything because a healed man doesn't need escape. A healed man doesn't need consistent validation. A healed man doesn't self-sabotage. A healed man isn't controlled by his pain. If I was in my 20s again, I would definitely start healing myself immediately. I would get counseling, journal, pray, face my wounds head on. Because healing isn't weakness. Healing is actual true strength. The third thing I would do is find mentors as quickly as possible. You see, one of the biggest mistakes young men make is trying to figure out everything by themselves. I know that because I did it myself and it cost me years. And there's nothing worse or more expensive than lost time. A mentor is one of the fastest ways to accelerate growth. A good mentor has already made the mistakes you're about to make. A good mentor has already solved the problems you're facing. A good mentor can save you years of frustration and tons of money. That's why mentorship is so powerful. A mentor provides perspective, wisdom, and experience. It gives you accountability and keeps you focused. The beautiful thing is that you don't need just one mentor. You can have many different mentors in different areas, like a business mentor, a faith mentor, a relationship mentor, a fitness mentor, or a leadership mentor. Find people who have the results you want and learn from them. Get around them, read their books, listen to their podcasts, attend their events, ask them questions. Observe how they live, because proximity changes people. The people you spend time with shape who you become. If I could go back and speak to myself, I would spend far less time trying to figure out everything on my own and learn from people who were already where I wanted to be. Hey guys, quick interruption because I have an important announcement to make. If you're a man between 20 and 45 who is out of shape, feels lost, stuck, undisciplined, or feels like you living beneath your potential, I created a U 2.0 mentorship program for you. I know what it feels like to carry the pain, lack direction, struggle with discipline, and try to figure out life without healthy masculine guidance. I also know this truth. When a man is broken, everybody around him feels it. His relationship, his family, his future, and his purpose. Everything suffers. My U 2.0 is a coaching program for men who are tired of drifting and ready to rebuild themselves from the inside out. Inside the program, we focus on 7 pillars: purpose, healing, discipline, masculine identity, family, brotherhood, and faith. This is not a fake macho content. This is not empty motivation. This is a real process for men who are ready to heal, break destructive habits, build self-respect, gain clarity, and become the kind of man they can actually respect. So if you're tired of wasting your time, tired of feeling stuck, and ready to become the man you know you're meant to be, click the link in the description to check out the program, or go to my website and enter your email so I can send you my free guide on how to find purpose and level up in life. Now back to the episode. The fourth thing I would do is develop hardcore discipline. Not motivation, discipline. Motivation is unreliable because motivation is based on feelings. Discipline is based on commitment. There will be days in your life when you won't feel motivated at all. Days when you'll be tired, discouraged, frustrated, and ready to quit. Days when nothing seems to be working. Those are the days discipline matters the most. The reality is that success is usually boring. People don't want to hear that. They want excitement. They want shortcuts. They want overnight success. But success usually looks like doing the same thing over and over again. The same workouts, the same habits, the same routines, the same standards, repeated consistently over time. Discipline is actually freedom. Most people think discipline limits freedom, but the opposite is true. Discipline creates freedom. Financial freedom requires discipline. Physical freedom requires discipline. Relationship freedom requires discipline. Even spiritual growth requires discipline. Because the life you want is on the other side of disciplined action. And if I was in my 20s, you best believe I would stop waiting to feel motivated. I would create standards, write it out, and commit to those standards no matter how I felt every single day. The fifth thing I would do is develop rock-solid faith in God. Because eventually life will break your self-resilience, and eventually life will humble you. Eventually life will bring challenges that you yourself cannot solve through sheer effort alone. Your business will disappoint you. People will disappoint you. Economy will fail. Your relationship will disappoint you. Money will come and go. Success will come and go. But faith gives you something stable to stand on. Faith gives you meaning during suffering. Faith gives you hope during uncertainty. It gives you strength when you're exhausted. Faith gives you direction when you're confused. There have been moments in my life when nothing made sense. I was confused. Things were going my way. Moments when I was discouraged and even angry. Moments when I wanted to quit, when I questioned everything, even God Himself. But during those moments, faith kept me moving forward, one day at a time. Not because I had all the answers, but because I trusted that God did. A lot of men place their faith in temporary things such as money, status, success, relationship. The problem is all of those things can disappear like that overnight. But faith in God gives you a foundation that remains when everything else falls apart. If I was starting over today, I would build the foundation immediately. Before I close this episode out, let me give you one bonus lesson. Find a brotherhood. Find good men, because no man succeeds alone. Despite what the society and media tells you, the lone wolf is not the strongest man. The strongest men I know have accountability. They have friendships. They have mentors. They have brothers who challenge them, who call them out when they're wrong, who encourage them when they're struggling and push them forward to their fullest potential. Because isolation destroys men. Brotherhood builds men. You need men who will tell you the truth, not men who enable your excuses or encourage your bad habits or keep you comfortable. You need men who sharpen you, challenge you, and help you grow, because iron sharpens iron. That's one of the reasons why I created my coaching program, which you can check out in the description below, because every man needs a tribe. Every man needs accountability, and every man needs a brotherhood, a true brotherhood. So, let me leave you with this. If I was broke and in my 20s again, I would focus on those 5 things that I talked about earlier. Getting in shape, healing my wounds, finding mentors, developing hard, solid discipline, and building my faith in God. Then I would surround myself with strong men who would help me stay on track and keep me accountable. The truth is, most men don't have a money problem. They have a direction problem, a discipline problem, a healing problem, or a purpose problem. And the longer you wait to address those things, the longer you'll stay stuck. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Because one day you'll wake up and realize that years have gone by and you'll either Be grateful that you started today, or you'll regret that you didn't. The choice is yours, but I truly want you to become the man you're capable of becoming. Your future depends on it. Your family depends on it. And this world can definitely benefit from the best version of you. If you found this episode useful or got any inspiration from it, please click like below and send it to a friend who you care about. Much love, everyone.